Right, Blighty Boxing with Frank Warren and Queensbury back here at long last with the Guvnor for a quick catch up. Martin Bowers, how are you, sir?
I'm fine, Richard. You?
Very good. Now we're going to run through things pretty speedily and just bring everyone up to date on what's happening with certain individuals within the Peacock. The last one out was Chris Bourke. Now he had looked quite an evenly matched fight with James Beach at Wembley a little while ago. To me, I couldn't give James a round, unfortunately. I think it's a real solid performance from Chris. What was your take on it?
I don't want to talk James down in any way, shape or form, because he's very competitive, and to come through the 8th round, I thought he'd done amazing. But I think Chris actually shone that night. But that's taking nothing away from James, because like I say, in the 8th round, I thought Chris had him, and he showed plenty of balls, for want of a better word, to come back and finish on his feet. So full credit to him, and like I say, I think Chris just hit a good patch that night.
It wasn't spectacular, but he did a job, didn't he?
I think it was very methodical. I thought he'd done everything we asked of him, and a little bit more.
I mean, he probably didn't get what Chris is like. He likes the old big finish, doesn't he? The big spectacular finish.
Yeah, but again, you're up against there's some real tough men in that division, and again, not taking nothing away from James's skills levels, because he's very, very accomplished, but he's also very tough, as we see with the fight with Foster. He digs in and he come to win, and again, he showed that getting through the 8th round.
And Chris has got a lovely title, and he's got a WBC belt. Where would you like to see him be moved next? I mean, obviously, the British, we don't really know what's happening with that because of Brad Foster and Jason Cunningham. We're still waiting for that fight to happen. Would you prefer sort of like just wait in line for the British, or get another international fight?
Listen, the way things are and the way shows are going, anything could happen, and in an ideal world, obviously, you want all your fighters to be British champions, because obviously that's where we live, and he's run the Southern area, he's done the English, so it would be the next progressive fight. But it all depends what comes up. Like I said, there's a lot more shows happening at the moment, and we could be lucky and something else could break. But as long as he's active and he's having competitive or progressive fights, I don't want to say competitive all the time.
They've all been progressive for him, haven't they?
Yeah, so I think he's in a good position, and he's set his stall out well.
Right now, we removed Chris from the equation. Now, a little gem of news you told me early on is that every single one of your charges has got a date.
Yeah, don't ask me all off the top of my head, because I won't remember it.
What a difference that must make
listen, it puts a buzz in the gym.
As a whole.
Yeah, sorry to speak over you there. Yeah, it does. It puts a buzz in the gym, and obviously it makes everyone's attitude different. I'm not saying that any of them have got bad attitudes, but it changes.
It's a feel-good factor,
yeah. And everyone's encouraging everyone else. And, we've got a couple of boys who haven't boxed with us before. I know you're going to probably move on to that, but Ellis, and looking forward to seeing him out and hopefully shining.
The ones I'd like to start with are people that I think maybe one of them is but Tom Akindele and Ryan Robinson. Now they really have had to be patient.
Listen, Tom, I tip my hat to all the boys in the gym. They all work really hard, but for Tom to keep coming here and the dedication that he's shown, and more importantly, the support that he gives all the other boys in the gym, he's never ever not helped. I don't think there's anyone in the gym he hasn't helped in one shape or another. So tip my hat to Tom. And when I was mentioning Ellis, I wasn't taking anything away from Tom. I just feel like Tom's been here forever. I mean, Tom's been here since Army.
His debut was supposed to be 18 months ago on your dinner show.
It was on our dinner show. Yeah. So I feel like Tom's, even though Tom hasn't been out, he's just always been here. But we've got.
I think Ryan did have a fight that night, didn't he?
Yeah, Ryan did box.
He's had one, but it's a long time ago again.
It's been hard, hasn't it? It's been a funny, probably 18 months, maybe a little bit longer. But they've all got dates now. They've all got to show their worth.
And you've got them both fighting Northampton.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? We've been really lucky. Really lucky. That's
good stuff. Now we go on to Ellis, as you mentioned. Ellis Zorro, that is the punching jeweller. He's on the Frank Warren show at the Copper Box on the Saturday, is he?
He's on the same night as Denzel. So that's what I'm saying. So Ellis is going to be seen in the eyes of a different audience, which is really good for him and what he needs to take him to the next level. So excited about that in that respect, that he's on a big show, and we're hoping he shines.
Well, it's a hell of a platform, isn't it? If you can make a statement, then you're off and running, aren't you? It's
Yeah,
that sort of
exactly.
breakthrough type thing, isn't it? If you take it, then you're there.
Yeah, it really is, and he doesn't seem like the pressure's going to get to him at all. He's quite a level-headed boy. He's put plenty of work in, and he's fitted in the team well.
He's not a novice either, is he? He isn't. 9-0. He's sort of
no, but he hasn't
right
had a
beginning,
massive amateur background, or anything like that. So he's still like all the boys here. They're all learning on the job, and they're all putting the effort in.
Young Billy Allington, a Southern Area title fight.
Yeah, I'm so pleased about that.
You pulled that one out of the hat.
Well, thanks.
Jamani Camiro at York Hall on September 11th.
Yeah. Well, thanks to Steve Goodwin. I mean, Connor Vine, who should have been fighting, who we know well. I know his dad, and I know Connor. He works. He does a great job. He's services. He's a paratrooper. Obviously, he's gone out to Afghanistan to help out there. So big respect to him there, and we all tip our hat to him. Unfortunately, he's lost this fight. But to be fair, if it would have been Connor Vine, we probably wouldn't have took it because of the relationship we've got with him and his family. So it's just boxing. That's how it works sometimes. So Billy's fell on his feet there, and about time too, because Billy ain't had a lot of.
No, I think something coming easy.
He's never had the run of the carpet for one, or the green, for want of a better word. But he's a good lad, Bill, and
got to seize this one, don't he?
He's got to grab this with both hands, because Bill's deceiving. I mean, he's got a great engine, Bill, but sometimes he sort of holds it back a little bit. So he's really got to go and grab it with both hands, as you just said.
Let's stay on September 11th. Young Denzel making his return.
Yep.
Excited about that?
Yeah, of course. Listen, we've got to do a real rebuilding job with that, and Denzel knows that. But listen, he was in a real competitive fight, and sometimes that's what happens. There's no disrespect in that. I mean, I still, Denzel's still the fighter that we thought he was beforehand. But again, he was in a real fight, and these things happen.
I mean, it's all about perceptions, isn't it? I mean, sort of people look at Andrew Robinson and think, oh, it's just a comeback fight. But the guy fought for a British title in his last fight, didn't he?
No, listen, it ain't.
And very experienced.
That's another good thing about the fight that Denzel's got. They're both coming back and want to prove themselves. So it's a real good fight. I mean, I'd call that another trade fight, for want of a better word.
Yeah, no, it's a good fight. Switch to the Friday, September 10th, and we've got a top of the bill job in the Peacock gym, Louie Lynn. Fantastic fight between two prospects, had the same sort of number of fights, they're the same age. It's a hands, yep, from Bradford. What was the thinking behind that fight?
Well, to be fair, the fight just come up, and it was like, I think it was a little bit would have been on the internet or whatever, some words exchanged, and it sort of made itself. There's not a lot of input from myself, Francis, Louie. I think it come from their end. I think they called Louie out, from what I can gather. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, because I don't follow the social media too much. But it's made a very good fight, and as always, we wish them well. We're going to be ready and prepared. Louie's worked very hard, as he always does, and I'm sure, as too. So it should be a great night.
It's the sort of fight as punters, but we love, because we always say, why don't these young boys always fight each other? And now they are. And everything's on the line, isn't it? And as fans, these are the ones that really sort of stir your juices.
Oh, definitely. Look, I've said it before, and I don't want to sound lemon when I say it, but I think that all the boys here get involved in real fights, and when real fights come along, they don't shy away from them, which to me is a good thing. You can say, oh, well, you're chucking them in or whatever. You're not. This is where they get to, at the level they get to, and then you have to test them and see where we go from here. You can't just keep going on shows and having, for want of a better word, 70-30 fights. You have to move on, and you have to see where your levels are, and
Otherwise, I think sometimes you're lying to yourself, aren't you? You're kidding yourself.
Yeah. And also, it is the entertainment game. Sooner or later, the boys want to prove themselves. They're not fools. They all follow the sport. They all know. They all understand it, and they all know that at a certain level, you do have 50-50 fights.
What do you think of the concept? I know Frank's done it before in various guises, but this is the first time on BT, shining a light on the prospects via BT Sport and their YouTube channel, so all sorts of eyeballs will be on it. Something you approve of?
Of course. Listen, anyone in the sport would say the same. It's, you know, it's a step in the right direction, isn't it? You know, this what you want to see.
Experience,
and it's how
really
you
going on last.
Of course it is. And it's how you get to see some of the boys that you wouldn't normally see, who are on cards, who are in really good fights, and they get lost in a big card sometimes. So to me, it's all, you know, it's a plus.
I noticed a little bit of a heightened intensity in Louie, having seen him today. I haven't seen him before other fights and everything else. There's a little bit of something about him.
I think that's Louie every day, with the greatest of respect.
Serious, yeah.
Listen, he's maturing, isn't he? He's growing into, you know, it's a serious game. He comes here every day and he works hard every day. And I think he's, you know, like I don't want to sound silly, but he's sort of growing into the sport. You know, he's appreciating it's hard, it's a grind, and it's serious, and you know, the weight's serious, the rounds that you spar are serious, and let's just say he's growing into a professional.
Have I missed anyone?
Not that I can think of.
It's my fault if I have. I hold my hands up, jump on mine.
No.
But I think I've covered them. Anyway, what about you? Have you been all right?
No, we're all good. I hope everyone out there is watching. It's all well as well. And
anything we could do in the dinner show this year?
Looking to.
Think there's a chance,
yeah? Get on Tony for me.
Well, to be honest, Tony's the man that makes it happen, isn't
exactly.
he?
So push him
right up his street. But so is it you want to, and Tony's got a few doubts?
No, not at all. It's just work commitments. I mean, you know, we give a lot of time to the sport during the day, and then we have got our other businesses, and it's just sometimes it's just commitments.
Well, Tony puts an awful lot into it, doesn't he? Because he's like every minute detail. It's got a theme. He takes time over the program, the play settings, the theme, having the right people there.
Exactly. So it takes up, you know, and like I said, we've got other businesses, and like everyone in the sport, you give so much time to this, but you still have to get a living, and you still have to, you know, do all the things that everyone does.
So there's a chance.
There's a chance.
Well, we hopefully will look forward to it.
Yes.
Is the old place still running up for the amateurs?
Yeah, it's all good. Ray's been going there overnight doing the amateurs, so that's been working well. Andre's been popping in with him and helping him. We've got a few good little amateurs coming through. Gym's going all right in that respect.
Important not to let that go in a way.
No, we won't want to let that go. Listen, it's part.
No, I'm talking about the amateur section. You know,
definitely.
You know, you like to keep a steady flow. You are a gym that likes to make your own, aren't you? You're not sort of one for grabbing people. So.
No, listen, we've been lucky in some respects. We've inherited some good fighters along the way, like all trainers and all camps do. You know what I mean? People move on, move back, move forward, whatever they do. You know, they do.
Maybe you're taking too many ready-made superstars.
Well, I'm hoping we've got one in Ellis. There's a bit of pressure for him.
It's hardly ready-made after 8 or 9 fights, is it? So.
No, but what I'm saying, he's established, isn't he? That's to me, that's you know, you've picked up someone who's worldly.
Well, Martin, we'll let you get on. I know you've got a very busy afternoon ahead of you.
Got to try and get Tony to do the dinner show, haven't I?
Yeah. Thank you for having me down.
You're welcome always. Listen.
We'll see you soon.
Okay. Good luck to everyone. Yeah. Hope everyone's well.